Hi everyone and welcome back. The sixth generation of consoles was in many ways a strange crossover generation. The majority of consumers still had CRTs, but were slowly moving into sets which also allowed for higher resolutions. The same goes for aspect ratio. Although most games were still in 4:3 aspect ratio, we also had many games in 16:9. I've covered aspect ratio on Gamecube in a previous video, so check it out. Nintendo's Gamecube was in the center of this crossover generation. The Gamecube was an odd console in many ways, and I'm not talking about the cubic design. It was released with both an analog and digital output. American Gamecube supported AV connection and S-video. The digital port also supported component cables. PAL Gamecubes supported AV connection and RGB SCART. The weird thing is that PAL Gamecubes also had support for component, but the actual component cables were never sold in any European stores. The low demand for component cables was probably one of the reasons for Nintendo to totally remove the digital output on later Gamecube revisions. The Gamecube could output 480i as well as 480p. What is lesser known is that Gamecube could also output 240p. There are only two official games that supported 240p, Mega Man X Collection and Zelda the Collector's Edition. Frustratingly enough, Nintendo didn't give any option to use 240p in the other games. So enter the homebrew community. By using Swiss on Gamecube, you can output 240p, and many games actually look really good in 240p. I would argue that many games look actually better in 240p than in 480i. And if you're using a CRT, it will look especially sharp. Resident Evil 2 here looks really good in 240p because it's based on a PS1 game which used lower resolution background assets. Let's have a look at Zelda Four Swords Adventure. So this is playing out in 480i, and as you can see, the image is quite soft. And the reason for that is not only because of the interlay signal, it's also because of Nintendo used some kind of linear filtering in Four Swords, which gives the game a very soft image. And they did this in quite a few games. Mario Kart DD also uses some kind of linear filtering, some kind of blur filter. So let's do something about this. So let's load the game in Swiss, and Swiss allows us to change the resolution to 240p, but that's not all. There also exists a cheat which allows us to disable the linear filtering. And this is one of the many benefits of Swiss, which in my opinion is the most powerful homebrew software for probably any console I own. And if you want to install Swiss, there are several methods to install Swiss on your Gamecube. You can check online, there are several guides online. I won't walk you into that, but if you have a Gamecube, it's mandatory to install Swiss. So shout out to Extremes and the other guys which develop Swiss, and as you can see, it looks much sharper. We don't have any nasty Vaseline filtering. The pixels are much sharper. So let's make a side-by-side comparison. As you can see, we have 480i on the left and 240p on the right. So no soft image, no flickering, and no filter. Another example is Viewtiful Joe. So this game uses loads of filters, film grain and so on to make the game look more like a movie or something, but I personally felt it made the game look much more blurry, especially combined with an interlaced signal. So let's see what we can do about Viewtiful Joe to make it look much crispier. So let's set the resolution to 240p in Swiss. Then let's go over to the cheat section, and here there's actually a cheat to remove the film grain, which is really clever. So let's see how the game looks in 240p and without any filters. And I know that the film grain filters in Viewtiful Joe is a matter of taste. I mean, some of you probably think it looks better with the filter on, but I personally feel that playing the game without any filters and in 240p makes it look much crispier and the colors are popping much more. So this is all a matter of taste, and you have to approach each game on per game basis. So some games looks better in 240p, others don't look much better, I would say. So you just have to approach them on a per game basis. And here's a comparison between 480i with filters and 240p without any filters. So what do you guys think? Do you prefer it with filters in interlaced mode or without any filters in 240p? And here are a few other games which I personally felt looked really good in 240p.
Let's go. Live and let die. Fight.
And that's all for this time, guys, and please leave any comments, suggestions, questions or anything in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Take care.